Hi folks, welcome to your latest MWIS Outlook. This updated on Tuesday the 20th of April. There's more fine weather ahead as we go through into the weekend as high pressure is in charge over several days ahead. Lots of sunshine, plenty of warmth and not too much wind. Ideal conditions for getting out and about onto the hills. Gradual changes expected as we head onwards into next week. Now just start briefly with the freezing level chart for Wednesday because it highlights the chilly morning across Scotland and the far north of England where temperatures start near to or just below freezing point into many of the valleys and the glens. The freezing level will lift as we go onwards through the morning into the middle of the day so that as we get to around lunchtime it's up to around 1,100 metres and it will rise higher than that as we go through the afternoon. But just notice how the blue colours are still around across eastern England. It'll be above freezing point on the hills, but it just maybe highlights that chill is drifting in off the North Sea. So the higher Cheviots, the higher Pennines will still feel rather cold. Into the days ahead and it will be generally above freezing point across the hills and the mountains, but there will be a regular touch of frost into the valleys, the glens and on some of the higher plateau areas. Some of the sheltered corries will just see a touch of frost first thing in the morning. Otherwise it's a generally warm story. The charts for the days ahead will look pretty straightforward. High pressure is in charge. We've got a weak front just drifting southwards across England and Wales on Wednesday, so a zone of cloud and some patchy rain, maybe just the odd shower across the South Pennines at first, soon clearing, and just around across Wales even into the middle of the day. But across North Wales at least that cloud will lift and break as time goes on. A little bit slower further to the south across Wales. A rather chilly easterly wind then, as mentioned, coming in across the Pennines and across the Welsh mountains too, quite gusty in places. Light winds across the Highlands, lots of sunshine around and temperatures rising from a rather chilly start where it'll be sub-zero to daytime values of around 5 degrees or above across the Munros. Those temperatures will tend to rise a degree or so further later this week. High pressure very much in charge. It looks a little bit fiddly on this chart, doesn't it? It's just how the model is trying to resolve things. It's just trying to maybe suggest that inland areas have got a whisker lower millibar pressure than around coastal areas. Perhaps just the suggestion of maybe a bit of thermaling and some cloud trying to form during the day. But to be fair, most places will stick with clear skies and sunshine pretty much dawn till dusk. So very strong April sunshine, as strong as it would be in August, so do beware that sunburn. Temperatures cool at first, touch of frost in many valleys and glens will rise, becoming quite warm as we go through the daytime. Light winds again, still maybe just an easterly drift across the South Pennines and Wales. Another fine day on the cards for Friday. Light winds again for most places, just that easterly across South Wales is the strongest of any wind. Again, plenty of strong April sunshine and feeling pleasantly warm. Not a great deal changing into the weekend. Again, a general easterly drift and the remnants of a weak front over the North Sea might just start to spill a little bit of high cloud into the atmosphere, but overall still plenty of sunshine. And with that general easterly drift, it's western areas that will be the best in terms of temperatures. So feeling very warm as we head onwards into the afternoon. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few spots around western Scotland, perhaps the Lake District, even Wales, nudging up towards around 20 degrees in the valleys by the afternoon, and the temperatures on the hills maybe not far off double figures either in some places. And it stays fine into Sunday as well. High pressure very much parked across the northern half of Britain, just keeps that idea of an easterly breeze across the Welsh mountains. Otherwise winds are light, lots of sunshine around, and after a cool start it will become a very warm spring day again. We're keeping away from weather systems at this stage. We've got an area of low pressure just to the west of Spain and Portugal, that bringing something rather unsettled there. At one stage it looked as though that might have shuffled a bit further northwards this weekend, but it's staying away for another day or so. We're just likely into next week to see high pressure weaken a little bit and allow a shallow zone of low pressure to try and come down from the north, and that's sort of joining forces with the low that surrounds Spain as well, and allowing the wind flow to turn somewhat northeasterly across our part of the world, and that allowing temperatures to fall, so the higher mountains may well drop sub-zero for a day or so again next week. Some showers forming as well, those with some snow and some hail across the hills and mountains, so expect a rather cool picture to become established once again, maybe becoming quite windy on the odd day or so. I think that idea of a showery picture is the one that will develop as next week goes on. There's difficulty in just how the detail plays out, but I think the closing days of April are going to be one of cooler temperatures and some showers in the forecast. Not necessarily extensive rainfall, just showers that become most widespread into the afternoons. It will depend on the strength of the wind in terms of whether they become quite slow moving. It doesn't look as though anything comes steaming in from the Atlantic though. A big area of high pressure is still between us and Greenland, so Western Scotland staying relatively dry in this sort of situation. There's no big weather systems coming in as west or southwesterlies. Instead, as we go toward the change of the month, if anything, it's a more northerly airflow that looks the more common, so expect those rather cool temperatures still to be hanging around. Enjoy some warm sunshine though in the short term. We'll keep you right up to date here at NWIS, your next full planner online for you on Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.